you looked at your parents or grandparents recently and felt like something's changed? They're still smiling, still saying, "I'm okay," just a little tired, but deep down you wonder, why are they sleeping more? Why are they forgetting things they never used to? Why do they just seem off? You try to believe them. You want to think they're just getting older. That's all. But something inside you whispers, what if it's not just age? What if something else is going on? What if that tiredness isn't normal? What if that forgetfulness isn't just part of growing older? What if the real problem is something we all thought was already behind us? I know this might be hard to hear, but in 2020, COVID-19 is still here. And no, it's not the same COVID we faced back in 2020. This one's different. It's quieter. It doesn't make headlines. It doesn't look like what we expect. And that's what makes it so dangerous, especially for seniors. Because COVID 2025 isn't showing up with fever and coughing fits. It's showing up with silence, with small changes that are easy to miss until it's too late. Let me ask you something. If your mom suddenly starts forgetting how to use the microwave, would you notice? If your dad stopped walking his dog each morning, would you think it's just the weather? What if those small things were early signs of something serious, something invisible, something sneaky, something slowly wearing them down from the inside? This video is not about panic. It's not about going back to lockdowns or fear. It's about truth. It's about awareness. And most of all, it's about protecting the people we love. If you're over 60 or you love someone who is, this might be the most important 15 minutes you spend today, because I'm going to show you how COVID-19 has changed in 2025, the early warning signs most people miss, and 5 simple steps you can take today to protect your loved ones and yourself. No medical jargon, no scare tactics, just real stories, real facts, real hope. So please stay with me. What you learn in the next few minutes could make all the difference. Let's begin. So, why is COVID 2025 so different? Let's go back for a moment. Remember 2020? We all knew the signs back then. Coughing, fever, difficulty breathing. It was scary but clear. Now, not so much. COVID 2025 doesn't shout. It whispers. And that whisper is easy to miss, especially in older adults. Let me ask you something personal. Have you ever seen your grandma struggle to remember a name she used to say without thinking? Or your dad suddenly cancel lunch because he was just too tired? Did they trip while walking on a flat surface? Or seem spaced out during a normal conversation? If you nodded yes, even just once, this might be more than just age. It might be COVID. You see, the new variant in 2025 known as XEC has changed the game. It doesn't always attack the lungs first. Instead, it quietly affects the nervous system, the brain, and the heart, especially in seniors. That's why so many older people don't even know they're infected. And that's also why families and sometimes even doctors mistake it for aging. Let me tell you about someone named Walter. Walter is 82 years old. He's retired, used to be a teacher. Every morning he took a walk around his neighborhood and said good morning to the same mailman for 15 years. Then one day he didn't go out. He stayed in bed until noon, said he felt sluggish. His daughter called and asked if he was okay. He said, "Just tired. You know how it is when you're old." A week later, he forgot the name of his neighbor's dog. Then a few days after that, he stumbled while trying to reach for a glass of water. No cough, no fever, no shortness of breath. Just small things. Eventually, his family convinced him to go for a checkup, and that's when they found it. He had tested positive for the XEC variant of COVID-19. He likely had it for weeks. It never attacked his lungs, but it had caused inflammation in his brain and nervous system, which explained the fogginess, the balance issues, the tiredness. Sadly, Walter's case isn't rare. A recent CDC report found that in early 2020, over 60% of COVID-19 hospitalizations in people over 65 happened without the usual symptoms. That means thousands of seniors are being infected, and no one realizes it until it's too late. Why is this happening? Because our immune systems slow down as we age. That means older bodies react differently to infections. They may not raise a fever, they may not develop a strong cough, but damage is still happening quietly, especially in the brain and heart. And here's the scary part. When we miss it, treatment is delayed. When treatment is delayed, recovery becomes harder, and sometimes what we think is just aging becomes permanent damage. Now you might be wondering, so what do I do? How do I know if it's COVID or just getting old? Great question. Here are some red flags to watch for in people over 60. Sudden or unusual fatigue, new forgetfulness or confusion, loss of balance or unexpected falls, dizziness when standing up, no interest in things they used to enjoy, sudden change in eating or sleeping habits. Even just one of these could be a sign. But when you start to see two or more, especially if they come on, quickly pay attention. Because early action saves lives. But don't worry, I'm not just here to show you the problem. I'm here to give you solutions. Coming up next, we'll go through 5 practical things you can do today to protect your older loved ones from the silent danger of COVID 2025. You don't need to be a doctor. You don't need to buy expensive equipment. You just need to care and take small steps that make a big difference. Sound good? Okay, so now you know COVID 2025 is still with us. It's quieter, smarter, and harder to notice. But here's the good news. You can do something about it. And it doesn't have to be big or complicated. Sometimes the simplest steps are the most powerful. So let's walk through 5 things you can do starting today to protect the people you love, especially if they're over 60. 1. Pay close attention to small changes. This might sound simple, but it's powerful. The virus doesn't always arrive with a loud alarm. Sometimes it whispers. And your job is to listen. If someone you love suddenly sleeps longer than usual, skips their daily walk, loses interest in talking, reading, or watching TV, starts misplacing things more often, don't ignore it. These aren't always signs of just getting older. Aging is gradual. But when something changes fast, something else might be going on. The earlier you notice, the earlier they can get help. So here's your first challenge. Think of one senior in your life. Can you remember the last time they seemed off? If something pops into your mind, maybe it's time to check in. 2. Help them get the updated booster. This is a big one. A lot of people believe that once they've had the vaccine or had COVID before they're safe forever. But that's no longer true. The XEC variant in 2025 has changed the rules. Older vaccines can't fully protect against it, especially for seniors whose immune systems are naturally weaker. That's why health experts created a new booster specifically for 2025. And here's something amazing. Seniors who've received the updated booster are over 80% less likely to be hospitalized if they get infected. That's not just a number. That's real protection, real lives saved. So ask your parents, your grandparents, your neighbors. Have you gotten the new booster yet? If they haven't offered to help, book the appointment, drive them there, sit with them in the waiting room. That small effort from you could mean years more life for them. 3. Improve the air they breathe. Most people don't think about this, but air quality matters more than ever. Why? Because COVID 2025 spreads mostly through tiny airborne particles, especially indoors. And most seniors spend a lot of time inside reading, resting, watching TV, or just staying safe. The good news, you don't need to remodel the house. Here are 3 simple things you can do. Get a HEPA air purifier. They're affordable and easy to use. Open windows a few times a day to let fresh air in. Use a fan to keep air moving, especially in smaller rooms. You don't have to turn the house into a hospital. Just help the airflow, and you'll reduce the risk more than you think. 4. Rebuild healthy routines. Let's be honest, the last few years have been tough on seniors. Many stopped going to church, meeting friends, walking, even cooking for themselves. And once they lost those routines, it became easier to just stay still. But that stillness, it's not just physical, it affects the mind, the body, and even the immune system. So how do we rebuild? You don't have to run a marathon. Just start small, start gentle, start now. Here are some ideas. Morning stretching, a short daily walk. 10 minutes is enough. Crossword puzzles or simple brain games. Phone calls with a friend every Friday. Watering plants or caring for a pet. Even one new habit can reignite energy, joy, and resilience. Because the stronger and more engaged they feel, the better their body can fight back against anything, including COVID. 5. Make a simple emergency plan. Let's face it, when something happens, it's easy to panic. But when you have a plan, you stay calm. You act faster. You help better. So let's make it simple. Here's what every senior household should have: a list of emergency phone numbers on the fridge, doctor and telehealth contacts saved on their phone, a working thermometer and a pulse oximeter. They're cheap, a plan for who to call first if they feel unwell. A small go bag ready just in case: ID, insurance card, basic meds. Sit down and do it together. You'll be surprised how reassuring it is for them and for you. And here's a quick question. If your mom called you right now and said, "I feel strange," would you know what to do? Would she? If the answer isn't clear, it's time to make a plan. Let me pause here and say something important. If you've watched this far, you're amazing. You're not just scrolling past. You're not saying that's someone else's problem. You're showing up. You're paying attention. You're trying to help. And that's what makes the biggest difference in the world. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to care and act. So here's a quick recap of what you can do starting today. Pay attention to small changes in behavior. 2. Help your loved ones get the updated booster. 3. Improve indoor air quality with simple tools. 4. Rebuild gentle routines that boost energy and immunity. 5. Create an emergency plan before you need it. Small steps, big protection. So here we are. You've made it through this video, and that already says something powerful about you. It says you care. It says you want to understand. It says you're not just standing by while the world changes, you're choosing to pay attention. And that's how we protect each other. Because COVID-19 in 2025 isn't making loud headlines. It's not filling up news feeds like before, but it's still here, and it's still affecting the people we love, especially our seniors. But now, you know more. You know what to look for. You know what to do. So, what should you do next? Let's take this knowledge and turn it into real action. First, leave a comment below. Yes, right now, take a moment to think. Have you noticed any strange changes in your parents or grandparents lately? Did someone you love suddenly seem more tired, more forgetful, less steady on their feet? Or maybe you just want to say hi or share your own story. Drop it in the comments. Your story might help someone else feel less alone. Your question might be exactly what someone else needed to ask. We read every comment and we respond too. This is a real community and your voice matters here. Second, share this video with someone you love. Maybe it's your brother who checks on mom. Maybe it's your neighbor who always brings groceries to the elderly couple down the street. Maybe it's your friend who just turned 65. You never know who needs this information until they thank you for sending it. Just one click, one message, one moment of care, and you could protect a life. Third, like this video if it helped you. It's a small click for you, but it helps more people find this content. The more likes, the more YouTube shares this with people who really need it. So if anything today made you say, "Wow, I didn't know that," go ahead and hit that thumbs up. Fourth, subscribe to this channel and hit the bell. We make videos like this every week focused on real issues, real people, and real ways to make a difference. If you want simple health tips, if you want updates that make sense without the fear, if you want to stay prepared and protect the people you love, then hit that red subscribe button. And don't forget the bell so you never miss a video that could change someone's life. And finally, remember this. You don't need to fix everything. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to show up, and you just did. COVID 2025 may be quiet, but we don't have to be. We can speak up. We can check in. We can take simple steps to protect our families and communities. So don't stop here. Share, comment, like, subscribe, and keep being the kind of person who notices what matters. Thank you for watching. Thank you for caring. And thank you for being the difference in someone's life today. Take care of yourself. Take care of someone you love. And I'll see you right here in the next video.